So today we're going to talk about advanced travel hacking. So today we're going to talk about how to do different stacks and get more cash back and more airline miles for your purchases. So we'll go over different promo codes, different stacks used, different websites used to maximize your purchases. So this is a little bit about me. My name is Trinh. So I've been to 36 countries in all 7 continents. So if you have any questions about visiting a specific destination, feel free to let me know. It's a good chance that I might have been there. I've also been featured on Today's Show, CNBC, creditcards.com, and most recently Morning Brew. And I usually talk about a lot about credit card stacks and being bougie on a budget on my Instagram. And if you have any questions, the fastest way to reach me is usually through Instagram DM. Okay, so this is the 5 things that we'll talk about today. So today we'll talk about Cashback Monitor and how you use Cashback Monitor before you do any purchases, shopping portals, finding promo codes, ARP membership, and also tickets at work. So what does stacking mean? So for stacking, there's multiple different layers that you might have thought of. I'm still recovering from COVID, so I'm coughing a lot. So stacking, you can try to think of it as the way to maximize your different purchases of how you can have different things. So usually when people think of stacking, they think of just a promo code, but there's more to it. There's like a shopping portal. There's possible credit card offers that you might have on your credit card. There's also the credit card you might use to maximize spend in a specific category. So an example with shopping portals, you have Rakuten, you have American Airlines, you have Delta. Those are kind of common ones. Then you have promo codes. So you might have Honey, Ibotta, or Capital One Shopping. And you have different payment methods with different credit cards, such as like American Express, Chase, Capital One. And you have specific credit card offers, such as Chase offers, American Express offers, Capital One offers. Usually the most common one that I use for credit card offers is actually American Express, because they tend to have more out of the other 4. So it just depends on your different credit cards and how you maximize them. So this is an example of what I did recently with a friend of mine for Sneha. We showed how you have it a specific example. So let's say like you shop at the clothing store Theory. Just from using the Rakuten shopping portal, you got $5 back from Rakuten. Then you also had a promo code for $37.50, which you used through Honey to find the promo code. Then there's American Express offer. So you had a coupon on your credit card to get additional cash back. And because Rakuten, it gives you the option to also get American Express points instead of cash back. So you also got American Express points instead of cash back. So that's just one stacking example. But that just shows you how you can have multiple layers of besides just having a promo code, you can also use a shopping portal like Rakuten. You can also use a credit card offer like American Express offers. So that's just one example. So the example we go over today is Cashback Monitor. So before shopping on any website online, I usually go to Cashback Monitor. So it doesn't matter what it is exactly. So like, let's say if I want to go to Saks, I would go on Cashback Monitor before going on Saks. Also for Walgreens or any other website, like it could be like Gap or like any shopping store in general. Before you go on any website, you go on Cashback Monitor. So you can see from the example there that like from the screenshot, we have Walgreens. So you have different ways to get cash back. So you can get like Chase points, you can get choice points for hotels, you can get rebates me or city points. It just depends what you want to get back. But this is a very helpful one just because you want to maximize your purchases. So we can do a quick demo too if that helps. So if you go on Cashback Monitor, you easily just type in the website. So the website I had was Walgreens. So you can see here how there's different ways you can get Retail Me or Not, you can get JetBlue points, Chase points, or Rakuten. So it just depends on what you're looking for. And then here's another example. We can do like Gap. So if you do Gap, for example, you can see how if you shop at Gap, you have Ibotta, you have JetBlue, you have Wells Fargo, you have Rakuten. So you have a lot of different options. So this is an easy way to stack to get more of your purchases just from going through a shopping portal. And then hold on, we're gonna go back to the next. Okay, so this is an example for Amazon. So Amazon's a good example of why you have to go through Cashback Monitor beforehand, because you can see here, top cashback is one of the few options to get cash back for, and it's only towards Amazon devices. If you look here, if you just checked on Rakuten blindly and didn't go through through Cashback Monitor, you wouldn't have known that you've been able to get additional cash back from top cashback from here. So let's see if we could hyperlink through here. So this is that real-time example. So you see how you had like options like Top Cashback, My Points, and Skybucks, but you don't have an option for any of the banks, like for Chase or Capital One or any of them, but you still were able to get cashback from Top Cashback. And if you click it, you can see here how it's specific Amazon devices, like buying a tablet or so. And also, if you stack through Top Cashback, even if you pay with a gift card for Amazon, you can also still get the 8%. So that also helps. Most recently, American Express, they had an American Express offer. So kind of like the credit card offers where you can actually click the American Express option from Amazon. So you can stack in additional to Top Cashback, you can also get American Express for 5 times the points. So it depends on which credit card you have, but that's one easy example of how you can use Top Cashback to stack along with American Express offer as well. And just go back. Let's see. So shopping portals. So this is kind of like what we went over when we saw the different Walgreens example about how you can get different things. So you can see how like you can have like options to get Chase points, Rakuten, or airline miles. A helpful one is to get them for airline miles if they're about to expire. So American Airlines is a very popular one, just because American Airlines, it's the only national airline that miles expire. So for American Airlines, the miles expire in 18 months versus for Delta, they don't. So to keep your American Airlines miles fresh, you can just go through a shopping portal beforehand to buy something, and that will keep your miles fresh instead of expiring. And the only time that you usually go in store to purchase is when you want to try something on. Also, when you want to get stuff that's in-store cashback. So an easy example that I recently did was that Rakuten had an in-store cashback option for Staples. So what I did at Staples was that because I have Chase Inc. Cash, which gets 5 times at office stores, I used that credit card linked to my Rakuten, and also got 2.5% back at Staples. So that was total of 7.5%. And because Chase points for Virgin Atlantic, there are overlap between Chase and American Express for Virgin Atlantic and Singapore Airlines, that would have been a 7.5x return versus me just going to Staples one by one and not activating the offer. Then I wouldn't have only got 5x versus 7.5x just because I activated something in store. So for Rakuten, you want to look out for stuff like that where you can activate in-store purchases, but that's just one easy example. So for shopping portals, these are more examples of how like American Airlines, if you go through Netflix, you can get additional 5,000 miles. Again, American Airlines is especially helpful because the miles expire in 18 months. So it's good to keep your miles fresh. Another example is like Target through the Chase shopping portal, and also Kmart again for American Airlines. So for shopping portals, it generally doesn't matter which credit card you use. So an example is for Rakuten, for example, I'll pay with a Chase credit card, but because Rakuten gives me American Express points, I would still get American Express points instead of cash back for that purchase, just because for me, I value my American Express points more than cash back, just because I can transfer them to airlines. And then for American Express, out of all the different banks, they have the most transfer partners. So American Express is probably my favorite bank to use for different transfer partners. So this is just an example again of how if you go through a shopping portal like Rakuten, you get American Express points, so that's one hit. And then you use your credit card, that's another hit for you to also get additional points instead of just not going through a shopping portal. And a lot of shopping portals, they let you buy stuff in store. So an example is for Walgreens, sometimes the minimum purchase is $10. So if I buy something that's $10 and over, I will actually get cash back in forms of American Express points through Rakuten to get the purchase. So that's a lot better than just going in store blindly and just getting only 3 times the points from using the Chase Freedom Flex or Chase Inc. Unlimited for 3 times at drugstores. So you get additional points on top of that. And also you can, because if you shop online and pick up in store, you cannot use promo codes in store. So if you buy something online, you can use that promo code and also use a shopping portal like Rakuten, so you can additionally stack, because if you go in the store, you cannot use promo code, it won't work. It only works for online purchases, but you can easily pick it up in store. It's an easy example because the Walgreens is literally next to my gym. So when I'm going to the gym, it's literally like a few blocks away. So whenever I'm going to the gym, I'll just do an in-store pickup for Walgreens and just get on my way out of the gym. So it also saves you time because you don't have to go around to different aisles looking for things. Okay, so finding promo codes. So two extensions that I recommend is Honey and Capital One. This does it in while you're on the website, so you don't have to manually look for websites. I remember in the past I used to Google for promo codes, but if you download these Chrome extensions, they'll automatically find the promo codes for you, so that helps a lot. So you don't have to like look around and Google for for yourself. So the Honey and Capital One, it's good to have both, just because sometimes Honey might find something, but then Capital One might not, but also vice versa, where one might find something, another one might not. And then here's a stacking example that I was kind of mentioning earlier for Walgreens, of how you go to cashback monitor, you see all your different options. And what I do actually to find deals at Walgreens is I actually find them on Instagram. So what I do is I actually look up the hashtag. This is a helpful, This is actually a helpful tip for anyone shopping in general. You can do this for a bunch of different stores, such as like CVS. You do the hashtag, the store / deals. So this one's Walgreens deals. So for CVS, you can do CVS deals. So this is an easy example for like, if you were to look up the Walgreens deals. So you see how there's a bunch of different posts and stuff. So you'll see how like there's top posts and stuff. You like most recent for this one. So it tells you like all these different deals that you can have on here for Walgreens. And then you can see on here, sometimes they tell you exactly when you look up the recent hashtags of which coupons to clip. So this example will be like you clip this Scott toilet paper coupon in the Walgreens app or on the Walgreens website. So you can stack that. So you use a Walgreens coupon that's inside the website, and also like using Rakuten for the cashback for there, and also using a credit card like Chase Freedom Unlimited or Chase Freedom Flex for 3 times at drugstores. So that's one easy example. So like before I shop at Walgreens, I usually check on Instagram to find out the most recent deals. And then you can stack because you have the coupon here. And also like sometimes they'll tell you which promo codes to use inside the post. This one doesn't have a promo code in it, but sometimes you'll find other ones. So like you can see stuff here like how here's another one where like they just show you the different the total before the couponing and total after. Like this person actually made money off her purchase because she used different coupons within the Walgreens app, and also like just stacking through like Rakuten and using a card like Chase Freedom Unlimited. So that's like one easy example. Also the ARP, I'm gonna go over ARP in a little bit, but if you connect your Walgreens account to ARP, you can actually get additional back for beauty purchase for 3 to 10%. So that also helps for stacking. And then occasionally Chase or other credit cards, they will also have offers. So I was able to get like a Chase offer for cashback at Walgreens because I activated Chase offer. So to activate a Chase offer, you literally go inside the Chase the Chase app, and if you've seen it offers on that specific credit card, you can click them. So you have to clip them. They won't automatically clip. So you have to clip them in order to get the coupon, because if you, let's say like you just went to Starbucks is a common one that Chase has. If you just went to Starbucks without even clipping the coupon for Starbucks in the Chase app, you won't get that additional cash back. You might get only the 3x dining for the Starbucks, but you won't get additional cash back from the Chase offer. And actually right now, it's a really good idea to sign up for Chase Freedom Unlimited or Chase Freedom Flex, because they have this really good deal for groceries where you get 5 times the amount of groceries, up to $12,000 for your first year. So if you're a family and you spend $1,000 each month for a year on groceries, you're getting 5 times the points for a no annual fee card. So you get 5 times at groceries for 1 year, up to $12,000, and then 3 times at drugstores. So it's a really helpful card to have. And then this is another example for like how this ties into your health savings account too. So let's say like you're buying something at Walgreens, like for women example, you're buying tampons, right? So that one for your tampons, you can actually give the cash back towards your HSA online. So, but if you bought it for your Chase Freedom Unlimited, right? So like if you went through Rakuten, you would have got the cash back from the Rakuten for American Express points, use a Chase Freedom Unlimited or Chase Freedom Flex for 3 times at drugstores. And then after you complete the purchase, you could save the receipt, upload to your HSA, and transfer the money from your HSA back to your own bank account. I usually use my HSA for investments, but if you're like short on money and stuff, or you just need the money now, that's an easy way for you to get like that for being tax-free. And then this is an option for ARP. So if you have this targeted offer on ARP, I just did mine last week because it came back again. This is another helpful example of why it's good to check your Chase offers. Last year, I was targeting Chase Freedom Unlimited for the $8 back. This year, I was targeting my Chase Freedom cards, so I was able to get the $8 cash back on each of them each time. So I got, on my last year, I got Chase Freedom Unlimited. And then this year I got Chase Freedom on my Chase Freedom card where I got the $8 back. So for ARP, it's actually a really good one to use because you can get discounts on travel. So if you don't have corporate codes through work, you can actually get discounts for travel at Best Western, Hilton, also renting cards through Avisis. This is exactly really helpful if you find a cheap British Airways flight additional, just because British Airways, it's a partner for American Airlines. So British Airways and American Airlines they're both on One World. So if you're chasing status and you found a cheap British Airways flight, you can actually stack that for British Airways where you get a discount for your flight, just because when you're redeeming points flights, they don't count towards status usually. But if you're just doing this to get status for American Airlines or British Airways, this is a very helpful tip to keep the status because you have to fly a certain amount of miles and MQMs just to keep the status. So I'll show you the example here. So this is the My Points portal. So let's see, if we look up ARP, I don't know if it'll work just because mine, I already, oh yeah, so I see how it says 2,000 points. If you just search ARP for 2,000 points here, oh, hold on, sorry, this is like we're telling me to do a code, maybe we're not gonna share that one. Hold on, let me just go back to sharing this for the My Points. And then you have the Chase offer from that. That's a very helpful tip just because you saw that how I found the ARP through My Points. So you're able to stack the 2,000 points from ARP, from My Points for ARP. Then you have the Chase offer for $8 back. So for My Points, you can actually redeem points for a specific amount. So if you actually have this Chase offer and this My Points offer, you can actually stack both of them and get actually paid a money maker to have this. I actually posted this on my Instagram a few days ago. So if you want to see the tutorial, I have it there where you can stack both of them to get the money back from ARP. So you pretty much get paid to have this membership. This is very helpful if you don't have corporate codes at work because you can save on travel like at Best Western, at the Hilton, on Avisis for like car rentals. It's very helpful, especially if you're chasing status for British Airways. That's really helpful because it's a cash flight. And here's another example that we talked about earlier for Best Western. So if you went through a shopping portal like Top Cashback, you can earn 6%. Then if you had an American Express offer, you get a coupon on top of that. Then you stack for American Express point. This was actually on my gold card, so it wasn't on American Express Green, but if you had American Express Green, you get 3 times travel. So if you have the other cards like American Express Gold and American Express Platinum, that's only 1 times the point for for travel versus American Express Green has 3 times the points. So it's all about using the right credit card, but it also depends on which credit card you get targeted for. So I was targeted for this on my American Express Gold card. So you can get 1 times the points for this. But if you think about it, it pays off because if you spend $100, you get $20 cash back. And they all Best Western also have their own promo code. So there you can stack the Top Cashback, the American Express offer, and the credit card rewards, and the ARP rate for the 15% off. So that's the multiple stacks you can do within that. And also depending on the hotel, sometimes they'll let you split payments. So this actually happened to Wyndham I was at. Wyndham also has ARP rates. So I split the credit card between using a specific offer that I had on my credit card, and then another one on a different credit card to stack to get the multiplier. So like, let's say like for this one for Best Western, for example, you only spend $100 on this one because you had an American Express offer for $100, get $20 back. You only spend $100 on this card, but if you had Chase Sapphire Reserve, you get 3 times the points on travel. So you would do your remainder, your balance on Chase Sapphire Reserve, and only $100 to activate the American Express offer. And recently in the summer, both American Express and Chase had both, but this specific example, I didn't list Chase, but that's another way to stack where you can have different credit cards depending if the hotel lets you use different credit cards for multiple purchases. And then another example is for Groupon. So Flues is a gift card app. Within Flues, you can get up to 6%. So example would be for Chase Freedom Unlimited. This will code as food and drink. So because Chase Freedom Flex and Chase Freedom Unlimited, you get 3 times at dining, and also Chase Sapphire Reserve. You get 3 times the points for the category purchase. Also the 6%, up to 6% or whatever percentage that they have, because it fluctuates sometimes, for buying the gift cards. So not only do you get 6% back from the Flues app where you can use the money for your future purses, but you also get the category spend for Chase Freedom unlimited for 3 times the points. And then if you go back to Groupon, if you found a promo code through like through Honey or through Groupon email, you can stack on top of that. So to go over, you got the cash back from the Flues app for the future app because you got the cash back from there. Then you got the category spend for buying the Groupon through Chase Freedom unlimited for 3 times at drugstores, 3 times at dining. And then you got a promo code on top of that for the Chase, the promo code that Groupon might have emailed to you, or you found through Honey or the Rakuten for overall purchase to get additional cash back. So another example that we're going to go through is Airbnb. So this is another helpful one that you have. So before you go on Airbnb, you can go through British Airways or Delta to stack. So I'll just give you a quick example. So for British Airways, you can actually get Avios for staying at an Airbnb. So if you just click the book accommodation but Airbnb, you can stack through that. So you get 2 Avios per each dollar spent. This is really helpful because this is an additional stack you have. So for British Airways, they're both Chase and American Express partners. So let's say like you had less Chase points, but you had American Express points. You can transfer your American Express points instead of using up your Chase points to British Airways to book a flight. British Airways is usually good for short haul flights. So if you're using points, it's really good for you to go short distances because the points start off at 7,500 versus you compare it to American Airlines or United. If you use with them, the points are usually 12,500. It's funny because when you use credit cards for different partners, usually the partner on the same alliance is usually cheaper. Unless you're doing something specific, like for United, it's usually good if you have X-Carnation perk. But if you're booking domestic, usually their partners like Avianca or Turkish Miles and Smiles is actually cheaper than booking on United itself. Let me go back to, and then back to this Airbnb thing. So pretty much you saw what happened there. You had the British Airways stack where you went through there to earn additional cash back. Then you can buy a gift card at a supermarket, or you actually buy through the Flues app itself too. So let's say like you use American Express Gold card, and you get 4 times at grocery stores for using American Express Gold and a few points. So this is especially helpful if you live near a Ralph's or a Vaughn's because you get few points for the gas and also additional points from your category spend. So for I believe for Ralph's it's at Chevron, but at Vaughn's I believe it's 76. I forgot which one's which for the gas station, but you pretty much got whenever they have promotions for the gift cards, you pretty much stack them where you save on gas for the few points to save on gas, and also for the category spend you have on your credit card. But there's specific rules that you have to have for your credit card. So like an example would be for that credit card, it cannot be for stays longer than 28 days, for existing reservations. So you have to pay in full. And I have an IG tutorial for it for later. Okay, so tickets at work. So this is and especially a helpful one because a lot of people work in corporate. If you have access to tickets at work, if you have a health insurance provider like Aetna, you get access to LifeMart, which also gives you access to tickets at work when you look for tickets. So when I went recently, I went ziplining in the summer at Big Bear. There was no Groupon deal, but there was a tickets at work deal. So I was able to use a promo code and also buy the cheaper ticket through tickets at work instead of going through the zip line directly to save money. So that's just one easy example. And then this is the, sorry, welcome to the world of stacking, of how we had different ways to stack, such as the promo codes, the cashback monitor for the different portals, the different credit card rewards, and everything. There's different ways that you can stack to layer on your purchases to maximize. So just as a quick recap, again, we have the shopping portals like Rakuten. You have your promo codes like Honey, where you'll find the promo codes there, and then specific payment methods like Chase, American Express, Capital One. So it's kind of like we use a specific credit card for a specific thing, you'll maximize the points. So an easy example would be like if you're using a Chase Sapphire Reserve, right? You wouldn't use that at a drugstore because you only get 1 times the points. You use it either Chase Freedom Unlimited or Chase Freedom Flex because you get 3 times back at drugstores. And then here you can connect with me. I'm the most active on Instagram. I'm speaking in person at Frequent Traveler University in Chicago and Los Angeles. And if you want a copy of the presentation, I have the link there where it's an email opt-in. And I'm also hosting a workshop where like, if you go to my workshop, you get $5 off for using a promo code for Nomadic Map. And I guess we can open the floor up for questions now.
Thank you, Angel. First things first, girlfriend, I'm gonna give you a 2 to 3 minute break to like mute yourself, get some water, catch your breath. Thank you for leaving this, oh, my microphone. Thank you for leaving this slide up. Everyone who is here, thank you so much for staying. If you've ever met Angel in person, she's literally like bursting at the seams with information. So, you know, maybe you have to like reference her Instagram if you want to hear something again, or if you just, you know, reach out to her on TikTok, whatever platform is your favorite. She is so open, so sweet, and so happy to answer any of your questions so that you two can stack like her. So I have also dropped in the chat, if you look at the chat, I've dropped in every single link to her, and she's easily accessible, which is wonderful. Like she said, you can subscribe to her newsletter, get a copy of the presentation. I will drop that website in here as well. And if you are new to the Nomadic Network and you have not been to a presentation yet, you also know, I mean, we do send out the presentation and the recording afterwards. So Angel, I think maybe there was something on your computer that like a little glitch that covered up some parts of the presentation, but it's nothing that was like, you know, incredibly moving where it's like, oh no, I messed up my rewards or messed up my credit card sign up. It's fine. We'll totally get that to you afterwards. So I appreciate everyone's patience in here. As you heard, Angel is recovering from COVID. So we're so happy that you are healthy and that you came here to open the year with this incredibly informational presentation, and that you're well enough to be here tonight. So once again, we appreciate you. We appreciate everyone in the audience for sticking around and asking your amazing questions. And we are going to have an in-depth Q&A because I saw a lot of questions in the chat, and I invite you all to keep dropping your questions in there. First one was, is there any easy way to figure out if the offers and portals work outside the US? Because Todd is asking from Canada. And then he also wants to know if people outside the US can get a Chase card.
So I'm more familiar with US products. There's a few friends that I have that are more familiar with Canadian products. So Prince of Travel, he's based out of Canada. And then Spencer and Ashley, they're based out of Canada. I'm mostly US based, so I don't really, not fully familiar with Canadian, but you can definitely connect with them too. For Cashback Monitor, it should be able to find the Canadian website, I believe. So you should double check that to see if you can get the cashback for that. But definitely Prince of Travel and Spencer and Ashley, they're the better resources for Canada because I'm US based.
All right, so I'm dropping these in the chat. Prince of Travel, Spencer and Ashley. I'm sorry, I don't have their handles, but I'm sure if you Google them, their Instagram will come up.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Mm-hmm. This is great. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I'll keep going the questions because there's someone more coming in. Jeffrey wants to know, how do you do cashback and a promo code at the same time? I thought you could only use one or the other.
So the shopping portal is separate from the promo code. So that's why you can stack. So it's kind of like the example that we had earlier for the pancake, how you have your shopping portal, you have a promo code, then you have American Express offer, Chase offer, City offer, whatever offer you have, and then the credit card you use. So Walgreens, for example, you can use a shopping portal at Rakuten, use your Chase Freedom Unlimited to get 3 times at drugstores, use a promo code on top of that, use a Walgreens coupon that you have in the Walgreens app, and then stack that multiplier to get the multiple cash back for that. And I've done that multiple times.
Wow. All right. Okay. Let's thank you for that. So Chiara, I am so sorry if I butchered your name. You can correct me if you want to. Has a question. Can you use Honey and Capital One shopping together?
You can use both of them, but what I would do personally is that I would get the Honey promo code or the Capital One promo code and manually type it in, because sometimes if you go through Rakuten and you just let Honey do it, it'll take away the Rakuten. So I'll just use Honey and Capital One to get the promo codes. But I will go back to Rakuten just to get the cashback or American Express points.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. So Michael wants to know, can you get an AARP travel discount if you are redeeming points?
For ARP discounts, it's for paid paid things, right? So like I show the example for ARP where you can get the example for using through my points and then getting the Chase offer, so you get pretty much paid to use the discount. But usually on paid stuff, I don't think Hilton has a special rate. For example, for ARP, you get discounts on Hilton. I don't think Hilton has a special pricing for just using points if you use ARP. I think it's only for cash stays.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Let's see. Oops, I'm just copying and grabbing these. Okay, thank you. So Marvin wants to know, is there a way to be notified of all of the Chase or Amex offers without having to log in and keep looking for updated offers?
So I believe on Reddit, there's a special thing where you can do a script to automatically add them. I haven't done that just because like I don't want to do that, but I've had a few other friends who did it. You can search on Reddit to look for it, where you can add all the Chase offers, American Express offers on your card. But like I haven't done that, but there's a way to do that. So you don't have
Okay.
to look, but you should also be able to like, check occasionally. I know card pointers, that's another good app to use. Card pointers, they should have the offers in there and which credit card to use.
All right. I'm hearing about so many new platforms in my life. So these are all, I'm trying to drop them in the chat. If I get the spelling wrong, if anyone in the audience wants to come correct me, please feel free to. Let's see here. Let's see, Jessica, can you use Capital One shopping if you don't have the Capital One credit card?
So that's what I do, right? I mean, I have the Capital One credit card. I do have that. I only use Capital One shopping and Honey for the promo codes. So like, that's the only reason why I have them. But I'll go back and go through Rakuten and like, I'll get the promo code, like what the promo code ID is from Honey or Capital One shopping. I'll get the code from them, but then I'll go back to Rakuten to complete the purchase. Just because sometimes if you activate Honey and Rakuten at the same time, it'll take away the Rakuten and give it the credit to Honey. So I don't want to do that.
Okay. Ooh, that's a lot to remember, but that's really good to know. And then Todd, shout out to Todd in the audience for coming in with the websites and the Facebook sites. Like, I appreciate you, Todd. You're helping both Angel and I out as we mine through the questions and as she shares her expertise. So thank you, Todd. Everyone, if hopefully you can see the chat and see that there's a lot of good resources in there. So keep the questions coming. We're just going through them. Okay, Anne Goldman, are all the shopping portals on Cashback Monitor legit? I've joined a few of them, but it always seems that there are some that I've never heard of. And Anne hopes that you feel better soon.
So I usually do the famous ones. There's some on there like Be Frugal that I haven't used. I usually use the famous ones like Rakuten, or I go through Chase or any of those, just because like the other ones, I never really heard of them. So I'd rather go through the famous ones more, just because it's only like additional points sometimes to use the non-famous ones, but I'd rather get for sure get through Rakuten and Top Cashback. So I'd rather get that because for me personally, my Rakuten points are really important to me because they're American Express points. So American Express, they have the most airline and hotel transfer partners more than the other banks. In addition to that, American Express, they tend to have the most transfer bonuses. So earlier in the fall, American Express had the most transfer bonuses versus Chase only had like British Airways, for example. American Express had a bunch of partners where like if you have specific points for the transfer bonus, you get more. So one example is that last month they had in Virgin Atlantic, I believe it was 30%. They also had Singapore Air, which was 15%. So instead of 1-to-1 ratio where you transfer like 1,000 to 1,000, you got like 1,500 instead of 1,000. So you got additional points. So that's why I value Rakuten more, because I want more American Express points. So it depends on your goals.
Okay. And thank
yeah, I
you.
do agree. Top
Yeah.
cashbacks takes forever, but top cashback, if you're buying Amazon, right, you want to get the cashback, right? So even though it takes longer, you still get the cashback, versus on Rakuten, you wouldn't for Amazon.
Interesting. Wow, lots to think about. So good. That's good to hear about American Express. I just became part of Club Amex last August. I'm so proud of myself. If you're part of Club Amex, totally drop a 1 in the chat so I know that you're still with us. But all right, let's keep going. Let's see. Dawn wants to know, does Cashback Monitor keep track of all the cashback and benefits you've gotten from the website, or is it only in the moment? Hopefully that makes sense.
So for Cashback Monitor, I usually check it. It usually updates every day or so, but sometimes I might manually check it just to make sure. I know that Retail Me Not, sometimes it's not on Cashback Monitor, but if you manually check it, sometimes it's there. But for the most part, Cashback Monitor is pretty accurate.
Hey, all right. Jeff just said I keep my cashback in my notes to make sure that they show up. That's awesome. And Ali wants to know, what do you prefer, a travel rewards credit card or a cashback credit card? Okay, a lot of the next questions are about credit cards, which is great.
Okay.
So help us out here, Angel.
Actually, can I put my referral links in the chat box too?
100%. Please do.
I'll just shoot mine too.
I've like reached out to Angel personally on Instagram, and I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna get the Capital One Venture X. I decided not to because like 2 different credit sources told me I would not get approved. So, but she did send me over her link, and I was like, you know, totally gonna use it first and foremost because she's been so helpful in my credit card journey thus far. So we welcome your links, and we love supporting the people that, you know, come and chat with us at Nomadic Network.
Yeah.
So
depending on your goals, for example, I recently did this Instagram reel. Let me see if I could quickly find it for you. So I compare the options for getting cash back versus a 2% card. If your 2% card can only go so far, just because you're only getting 2% on the multiplier. And if you don't have a specific credit card, so like example would be for Citi Double Cash, right? You only get 2 times the points on Citi Double Cash. But if you don't have a Citi Prestige or a Citi Premier, you can only redeem that cash back for points. So let's say like you need a travel credit card, for example, like you can't redeem towards a transfer partner. You can only redeem for cash back. And a lot of times when you book with points, it's a lot easier to get the transfer bonus, for example, if there's a promotion. So it's usually cheaper to book with points, but it's always good to compare the cash flight versus the points flight. But usually with points, it's usually cheaper. I have an old Instagram that I have for here for the comparison. But let's see. I have to like look through it. It's been like a while since I posted it, but I pretty much compare it like how
what is the reel?
Here I posted I'll post it in here. So this is the reel that I have in here.
We can like also send this out in the follow-up too, like this direct link.
Oh, sorry, I could send. Where do you send to all?
It doesn't. You have to switch in the chat that you want to send to everyone.
Oh, sorry, send it. So that's the Instagram reel where it shows the 2% cashback. It can only take you so far, just because like.
Okay.
If you don't have a travel credit card for like Citi, for example, for like if you're using Citi Double Cash on everything to get 2%, you can only go so far with the cash back because you can't redeem the points towards a transfer partner unless you have Citi Prestige or Citi Premier towards a transfer airline. So one easy example for there, if you're using Citi Premier or Citi Prestige, is if you're redeeming for United flight to fly domestically, it's only 7,500 points to book Turkish miles. So 7,500 points plus taxes, which is usually like $5.60 or $10. That's a cheap way to fly domestically to Hawaii.
Right. Can you can you explain this yourbestcreditcards.com link? Is this a referral link for
so these are my referral links for if you guys end up signing for any credit cards. The one I recommend the most, if you're not ready for a travel credit card right now, is to get either Chase Freedom Flex or Chase Freedom Unlimited, just because the promotion's ending tomorrow to get the 5 times back at grocery. So you can get Chase points in the meantime for 5 times at grocery up to 12,000. So once you feel ready to get like a Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve, you can use the points later. So in the meantime, you're building up the points on Chase Freedom Unlimited and Chase Freedom Flex, and then use those points later to transfer Chase Sapphire Preferred. So that's the only thing. It's like, if you don't have a travel credit card yet, but you still want to save up for that eventually, that's an easy one if you spend a lot of money at the grocery store, because for a family, if you spend $1,000 a month, that's 12,000 points. I mean, that's, sorry, not 12,000 points, up to 12,000, 5 times 12,000, that's 60,000 points. For 60,000 points, you can do a lot of different things. So Hyatt redemptions for hotels, for example, start at 5,000 points and 3,500 points for hotels when they're on sale for the special pricing. So imagine that you cannot book that Hyatt for 5,000 points unless you have like a Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Ink Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve, but you can build up the points in the meantime. And once you got Chase Sapphire Preferred, you move your Chase Freedom Flex or Chase Freedom Limited points towards that card, and then you can book the hotel or the airline that you want.
Okay, perfect. That's really good, because I was once a beginner in travel credit cards, right? So for those of you listening out there, if you don't want to get a travel credit card yet, but you want to start stacking up the points, Chase Freedom Flex is the way to go. And I think we dropped Angel's referral link twice in the chats. We will also be sure to send that out in the follow-up. But if you don't have Chase Freedom Flex, you don't want to get a travel credit card, but you want to start stacking up the points, Chase Freedom Flex, that's the way to go. Awesome. Thank you for that explanation. So let's see. Anna wants to know, simple question, best Amex card right now. Do you have an opinion?
So for me, like if you're just, I don't know, because like Amex, it depends what you want to do, right? Like I had my American Express Platinum because I get lounge access, right? So for American Express, I live in LA, so the Centennial Lounge is closed at LAX, so I can't go there. But because if I'm flying Delta the same day, because my American Express Platinum card gives me access to Delta if I fly the same day on Delta, that's an easy one. Because right now the Priority Pass lounges at LAX are closed. So like you cannot go to Centennial Lounge or Priority Pass Lounge at LAX because they're closed right now for like the food and drinks and stuff. There's no lounge open. But because I'm flying out Delta the same day and I have American Express Platinum, I can go into the Delta Lounge. But if you live in New York, for example, you're easy, because in New York you have EWR, which has some Priority Pass lounges. You have LaGuardia, but LaGuardia has only Centennial Lounge and Delta. They don't have any Priority Pass lounges there. So if you want to play it safe, if you fly out of JFK, you will have access to American Express Lounge for Centennial, and you'll have Priority Pass lounges too. So this is also very dependent on which airport you fly into. So like when I'm looking for flights, if I have to fly to New York, because I actually still live in New York, I just moved back to LA like 6 months ago, and my workplace is still based out of New York, so I go to New York occasionally. If I'm flying to New York from LAX, I would choose JFK because I want to go to Centennial Lounge, and I also want to lounge help, because if you have a Priority Pass like through your credit card, for example, you can lounge hop to the different lounges there. And I do that sometimes when I'm traveling. I'll go to different lounges. I might go to American Express Lounge right after. I might go to Priority Pass Lounge just to check out the different lounges. And because I have lounge access, I don't pay for food or drinks. So it just depends on what your goals are. So like for me, I like my American Express Platinum for the lounge access. Also American Express, you get 5 times the points for flights if you book directly with the airline or through American Express Travel. American Express offers tends to be more on the Platinum and the Gold cards. You have to remember, when you have a no annual fee credit card with American Express, a lot of people think you can get away with like getting the American Express offers because they're like, well, I already have a no annual fee on American Express. But actually, when you have the more expensive cards, you actually get more American Express offers than the no annual fee cards. So you also have to keep that in mind because you're a different customer to them. So American Express, if you have a no annual fee card, you're not gonna get the same offers as someone with a Platinum card. Like you have to remember, it's different depending on what you do. Also on American Express, you also get $200 hotel credit if you book through American Express for specific hotels. So the $200 airline credit, $200 hotel credit. You also have Saks credit. So for Saks, you can stack this by going to Rakuten, also getting additional through Saks. There's a lot of different ways for you to use a Platinum card. So the Platinum card is more of like a luxury card. If you shop at Saks, you have the American Express hotel credit, the airline incidental credit. So that's a very easy one. Also the Uber credits too. American Express Gold, that's a very good one if you want to like shop at grocery stores, because you get 4 times at grocery stores. You also get the the Uber credits and also the Grubhub credits each month. So because you have those credits, you're essentially paying $10 for the card. Because if you use American Express Gold, for example, you get $10 a month for Uber, $10 a month for Grubhub, that's $240 a year. And the card costs us $250. If you have a corporate card of American Express, like I do through my workplace, I get $100 credit for having a corporate advantage card. So I get $150 from Platinum for having the corporate advantage card. And also I get $100 from American Express Gold. So I pretty much get paid to use American Express. So depending on our situation, for me, American Express, I actually make more money off American Express than I do for Chase. Chase is easy because they have no annual fee cards and the annual fees tend to be lower, but you make less money. So you have to think about American Express. If you use all the different offers on the card, you essentially make more money from there. So you have to think about your different strategy. But
yeah,
if you just want groceries, I would say American Express, the gold card is good for that one. American Express Platinum is good for lounge access and everything. But definitely check if your workplace has a corporate advantage program where you have the corporate American Express green card like I do, because you get discounts on different credit cards for having American Express. And you can layer them. So I got $150 from Platinum and also $100 for American Express Gold. So that's $250 I got back just for having a corporate card.
That's amazing. Okay, I don't have Platinum yet. I'm still starting on Amex Gold, but I will use all of Angel's referral links. I don't even have referral links. 6 free months of Audible, 6 free months of Panera subscription for like a free coffee every 2 hours, like 2 to 3 months of 2 different fitness, like online fitness things. Yeah. So the gold is good. And it gives you the same thing like grocery stores, 4 times the points minus big box and like club. And also anywhere you're eating out, anywhere that's classified as like a restaurant or like a cafe, whatnot. I also didn't think those points were eligible outside of the US, but I went to London for 2.5 weeks and like all of my food counted as 4 times the points, which is amazing.
So it's global. So for the restaurants, it's global. For the supermarkets, only domestic. For you get 4 times.
Okay.
So it depends on which credit card you use. So this is another example why it's helpful, because like, let's say you're traveling overseas, but you have a no annual fee Chase Freedom Flex. Chase Freedom Flex gives you 3 times at dining, but you will get charged a foreign transaction fee because you don't have a premium credit card like Chase Sapphire Reserve or Chase Sapphire Preferred, where you don't get charged foreign transaction fees. So that's another example of why it's helpful sometimes to get a travel credit card, because you don't pay foreign transaction fees. And also you get the multiplier. So like if I went to Mexico last year, I got the dining from the multiplier, kind of like yours from London, for dining on top of that. So it just varies.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. There's a lot of great information in the chat, everyone else. A lot of good anecdotes and like additions to what Angel is saying from Todd and Jonas. Thank you. Yeah. The platinum fee is a little high for me right now, but I might upgrade after my first year is done. But it's tough, Angel, because like you said, my home airport is LAX too. So it's like if our lounge is closed and I'm flying out of that one mostly, I'm like, oh, is it worth it right now? Like, who knows?
Well, if you fly a lot of Delta, right? Because also you have to remember the lounge hours too. Delta opens late too. So like I actually had a red eye to go to El Salvador, but the Delta lounge opens early and it closes late. So I'd still be able to go to the lounge, but if I wanted to go to Priority Pass or American Express lounge, it was closed by then. So you also have to double check the lounge hours. So another example is if you're going to San Francisco. So for San Francisco, American Express lounge closes at 7 p.m. But if you go to Las Vegas, the lounge closes around 9 or 10. So like you have to be very specific about which lounge you're going to and double check the hours and plan out your flight around the airport lounge hours, because like if you don't, you're not gonna get food and drinks there because it's gonna be closed. And if you have an option to book a flight where you choose a flight that has the one that has the airport lounge hours, you choose that one over the one that doesn't close, So it's all about being strategic.
Yes. And this is like a super sidebar, but because of COVID and the situation around the world, a lot of lounges or some lounges are requiring reservations. So my friend ran into that problem at Heathrow in London, where she's like, shoot, I got to the airport and guess what? I didn't have a reservation for my lounge. So definitely look into the lounges if they need if you need a reservation beforehand, because that could be key to, I guess, your comfort or what you're planning to do, before or after your flight. So awesome. Thank you for all of that information. Okay, let us continue. So Chiara, kind of switching gears a little bit. Can I keep AA miles? I think that's American Airlines, right? After I close the card before I can use the miles? Does that make sense?
So you're saying that you want to close the card how long have you had the card? Because if you close the card after like less than 1 year, or just when you got the sign up bonus, you might look greedy to the bank. So I know that American Airlines, it's through Citi or Barclays, but I know that if you do that to American Express will literally have the pop-up thing where it says you're not eligible. This actually happened to a friend of mine. She signed up for American Express card where she had the card for less than a year and she canceled it, but now she can't get approved for American Express again because they think she's greedy. So like you have to be mindful of like how long you got the bonus for, but it depends on their policy. But usually, like I know for Chase Sapphire Preferred and Chase Sapphire Reserve, right? If you close a Chase Sapphire Preferred and you don't have another travel credit card like a Chase Sapphire Reserve or Chase Ink Preferred, you can't use those transfer partners because you have to have a travel credit card to use them. So it just depends on the specific one. But I think for American Airlines, it might still be okay, but just double check on that.
Okay. So I had learned, I mean, I'm a noob, but like, what is the deal on closing credit cards? I thought you were not supposed to do that. Can you tell us your honest opinion? I thought you're not supposed to close a credit card ever.
Yeah, my friend did that. Not me. It wasn't me.
Right.
So what you do for credit cards is I usually ask for retention offers. So just for disclosure, I got retention offers on Capital One Venture, Chase Sapphire Reserve, American Express Gold, American Express Platinum. So all the expensive credit cards, I pretty much got a retention offer for. What you do is when your annual fee posts, you call the bank to see if they have a retention offer for you. And for them, like for all the big ones that I had, I always got a retention offer on them. Sometimes they might say no because, you know, sometimes they might not have on your account. But for me, I've been successful at all the major ones.
Okay. And a retention offer, is that like a cheaper annual fee or like how does that work?
So an example would be for Capital One Venture. Instead of paying the $95 annual fee, I called them right after I posted a $95 annual fee. They took the $95 off for me. So they gave me a statement credit for $95. So I didn't pay for that. American Express for gold, it's $250 for a credit card. They give me 30,000 retention offer bonus. So 30,000 points, wow. If you even redeem at 1 cent, that's $300. So my retention offer was actually more than the annual fee for the credit card to keep it. Of course, I'm not going to redeem it for cash back at like 1 cent or American Express. So I'm going to transfer to an airline, especially if there's a transfer bonus because it's cheaper. So it's like you have to do the math to see what's on your table.
Okay. I feel like, okay, so like anything in life, get on the phone and talk it out, right?
Yeah.
Great advice. Okay. So really quickly, another sidebar, Nima, did you say the Chase Freedom first year grocery 5 times back offer ends tomorrow? What was that? Or was it? Okay.
So I would either sign up today or tomorrow. I mean, I would sign up today, but just because it's supposed to end tomorrow. And I don't know when Chase pulls it. So an example would be City Premier. City Premier, the 80,000 bonus ended today. So if you apply for City Premier like today, you only get 60,000 points. Yesterday was 80,000. So like you have to be mindful whenever they have the special deals and stuff. So because they can pull it anytime. Chase, they put on their website, they're ending it tomorrow. So if you want to play it safe, I would apply today because that Chase Freedom Flex or Chase Freedom Unlimited, whichever one you want, you get 5 times for groceries up to 12,000 for your first year. So if you're a family, you pretty much get like 1,000 a month. 5 times 12,000, that's 60,000 points. To stay at a Hyatt, it's only 5,000 points starting. So like think about all the different hotel nights you can book. And for Hyatt, if you're chasing status for globalists, if you have a point stay at a hotel, that still counts towards status. So you have to be mindful of different rules. Like for a lot of the airlines, that might not count, but for hotels like Hyatt, it does. Okay. And you also have to remember, you have to remember if you book something with points, for example. So if you book Hilton or Hyatt with points, you don't pay resort fees. But if you book it with Marriott, you still pay the resort fee for the hotel, even if you pay with points. So you have to be mindful of a different airline or hotel that you're working with as well.
All right.
Chasing status. So status. So it depends, like chasing. So status. So like status is helpful because you get extra benefits. So an example from 6 still will be Hyatt for globalists. If you have globalist status with Hyatt, you don't pay for breakfast or parking. So when I was staying in Chicago, the parking to stay in Chicago was $50 a night to park in the hotel. But because my friend had status, we didn't pay for any of that. When I'm not renting a car, so it worked out. at the hotel in Hyatt, we went all out for breakfast. The breakfast, we ordered everything on the menu, almost everything on the menu. It was almost like $70 a person just to eat the breakfast. And it wasn't the breakfast that you have, whereas buffet, you had a menu and you chose and the waiter came to you. And because she had globalist status, you bill it to the room. So you also don't pay for the tip because the globalist status covers the tip and also the meals and covers the parking. So it depends on what your goals are. And because Hyatt partners with American Airlines for status, they have reciprocal benefits. So if you're an American Airlines person and you also like Hyatt, that's really good. If you're a Marriott and you also like United, they also have status matches as well. It really depends on your goals.
Okay.
Yeah, $50 like park is expensive.
So crazy. Anyways, thank you for that. Yeah, chasing status. That is a really good question and a wonderful answer. I'm gonna pick up where I had a few questions back in the middle of the chat because I'm kind of doing them in chronological order. Let's see. Anne said, is it better to get cash back on Rakuten or Amex points?
Amex Express points. Because like for cash back, like American Express points, right? Like if you have a transfer bonus with Singapore Air or Virgin Atlantic like they had last month, that's 30% extra on Virgin Atlantic. Virgin Atlantic, you can use those points to book Delta flights. So like, and you get 30% transfer bonus on top of that. Singapore Air, you can use those miles to book to fly to Hawaii. So that's the easy one. Also, because Hawaii and Central America are in the same region for Singapore Air, that's also a very good one to redeem for miles. But if you're paying the cash fare, it's way more expensive usually. Usually I compare them. I mean, I can go over, I'm actually going with this over in my workshop, so I could paste the link there if you want to go in the workshop to compare. So like,
yes, please paste it. Thank you.
But I'll show you guys how how to compare this for that. Like I'm actually going over my workshop for different partners to use and different like transfer partners to use just because some of them are better than other ones. So I'll give you another example. So it's like when I flew to El Salvador, for example, because Delta had a flash sale. So Delta is usually dynamic pricing versus an award chart, but because they had the flash sale, it was cheaper for me to buy it. Normally I wouldn't transfer to Delta, I would transfer to Virgin Atlantic just because Virgin Atlantic, it has an award chart. So it's usually cheaper than the dynamic pricing, but because Delta had a flash sale, I only paid like 18,000 points to fly first class to go to El Salvador, but my cash fare for my flight, if I paid for first class, would have been around close to $700 or so. So it depends on your goals.
Okay. Really good to know. And yes, thank you. This workshop is on February 28th, so plenty of time to sign up, but also another great opportunity to get your questions answered, especially if we miss them in this presentation. So thank you, Angel, for dropping that. Okay, so Susan, I'm not sure if there were difficulties with this. Is there any way to use Capital One shopping on an iPad? Is that possible?
You probably can, but for me, sometimes I try to play it safe. Like I think you could use it through the app to see. But for me, I usually play it safe and do it through desktop sometimes, just because sometimes on the screen it's kind of small. So like I know that sometimes when I go through like a specific portal and I do it through the phone, it might not track it. So like you have to be kind of careful with the phone sometimes. Usually desktop is safer than the phone when you're buying things. That's just my experience.
Honestly, I feel like that with a lot of important things that I'm doing online. I'm like, if I want to make sure it's going to go through, I'm going to do it on desktop. So just to be safe, hopefully, Susan, that answers your question. Okay, Laura, Travel 80 by 80 wants to know, I think this is referring back to like the best credit cards to have. What if you already have like Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve? Like, is there a next card that you recommend?
So if you want to stay within Chase, I would use a Chase Freedom Flex or the Chase Freedom Limited, just because you get 5 times the groceries up to 12,000. So that's like easy 60,000 points. And that's on a no annual fee card. Chase Freedom Flex is actually slightly better right now if you get it, because the grocery spend this quarter is actually groceries. So you can get up to 9 times back at grocery stores because you have the bonus from the category spend for the rotating category, and you have the additional benefit from the 1 year for having the card for the grocery. So you get 9 times total back from Chase. They won't give you 10, sorry, they'll give you 9. So like you'll get 9 times back for groceries. So that's an easy one for a family, because that's, if you spend 1,000 a month on groceries for 12,000, that's 60,000 points. If not, I would also look at the Chase business cards too, if you don't want to count that towards Chase 524. So that's also helpful. It also depends on where you live, for example. So the Capital One Venture X is an easy one right now, just because that one has priority pass. So if you add someone on Capital One Venture X for an authorized user, it's free. Versus for Chase Sapphire Reserve and American Express Platinum, to add an authorized user, you have to pay a fee. But because Capital One Venture X doesn't charge for an authorized user, they also get your benefits. So like you can add your husband, for example. Both you and him will get the priority pass benefits for the lounge. So if you're a family of 4, you have your whole family covered, versus if only one person had it on Chase Sapphire Reserve, they can only bring 2 guests. They cannot bring a family of 4, because if it's only 2 guests, it's only 3 of you guys. Versus if you're a family of 6, because you can also go and you bring in 2 people. A family of 6 with the Capital One Venture X, that's an easy one for a family of 6 to get lounge access if you live near a lounge.
Okay. All right. A lot of great info out there. And yeah, Capital One Venture X is a brand new card that was released the beginning of November. So we've dropped Angel's links in the chat if you want to go check that out, as well, her referral links. Okay. Let's see. Definitely grab some water, Angel. I'm going to line up these questions for you. Okay, Marvin wants to know, how often do you see Chase Ultimate Choice promos where you can get additional points on transfers to travel partners?
American Express is more common than Chase from my past experience. So when American Express back in the fall, I think they had like close to 12 or so. Chase only had 2 for British Airways, and I think it was Marriott, versus American Express had more. But it's like hard to say whenever they're gonna have them, right? Because they just come and go. Like last month, American Express, they had Virgin Atlantic and Singapore Air. Chase didn't. So it really fluctuates. It comes and goes. So you just never know.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's go through some in the chat. I know there were some that were dropped. Marvin, again, actually, this is a good one. Is there any drawback? This is referring back to asking for retention offers, getting on the phone. Marvin wants to know, is there any drawback to asking for a retention offer / threatening to cancel every year?
So I've had friends who do that. Like my roommate on City Premier, she called every single year for the past few years. She never paid $95 ever for that credit card, because she calls every single year and they gave it to her. For my Chase Sapphire Reserve, I only got it last year for the $150. In the past, they haven't gave it to me. So it comes and goes. Sometimes you might have it, sometimes you might not have it. So it varies from account to account. But my roommate, every single year for City Premier, she never paid a single penny. And last time, she kept asking them because they're kind of being harder on her. But it took her less than 10-15 minutes. So like for 10-15 minutes to talk to someone to negotiate a retention offer versus paying $95, minimum wage is like what, like $15, right? Wouldn't you rather spend the $10 or $15 negotiating to get a retention offer on your credit card and save $95? So like you also have to think of how your time is spent.
Yep. Interesting. I also wonder if they prioritize people who literally are putting like 50 grand a year on their credit cards. Do you know what I mean? Like say your business card that's doing it.
It depends. Like I have friends who spent more money than me, but they didn't get a retention offer, but I got one. So so it really fluctuates for each person.
Interesting. Okay. Well, big recommendation to just be patient and nice when you're on the phone asking for a retention offer.
Because like they're not guaranteed to give it to you.
Yeah.
Like you have to be like a nice person. Like when you get on the call, like ask them, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Like, and then talk to them. They're like, hey, just want to see, are there any retention offers on my account? And then the person checks, they might say like, oh no. And then you ask them like, are you sure? Are you able to talk to your manager to see if there is one? That actually happened to me with Capital and Venture, where last year it was pretty fast, but then this year the rep took a minute to double check with her manager, and she's like, oh yeah, my manager just processed it. But if I didn't ask her to check her manager, she wouldn't have gave me the $95. So
Okay.
that also helps too, but be as polite as possible on the phone.
I like to start off with, I'm loving being a Chase customer. I'm obsessed with being an Amex customer. Like, why not show them a little love at first, right? And then continue to be nice. That's cool. I want to know, has anyone else in the chat, while Angel takes a break and another sip of water, has anyone else tried the retention offers over the phone? If you have, drop your experience in the chat. I'm sure others would love to see that as well. And let's see, I think we're going to do, actually, this is a great question to jump off with, Angel, unless anyone else has any last minute questions you really want to know in the chat. Laura's going to go try the retention offer now. Yeah, I'm waiting for August.
Real time. She just got $30 points from American Express Gold. Ooh. And then there are 1,000 points. So people are talking real time.
Okay. I might upgrade to Amex Plat in August when my offer is up.
But that also happens too. But you have to remember, if you upgrade to a card, sometimes they'll give you less points in opening a credit card. So you have to be mindful of that too. Compare the upgrade offer to the credit card current offer to see which one's higher.
Okay. Oh, wait. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going. And I'll tell you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I know for Hilton, they tend to do that sometimes. So like if you start off with the cheap Hilton card for $95, sometimes they might retarget you to upgrade and they give you additional points if you upgrade the credit card. Versus if you went straight for the credit card and then just close it and reopen, you might not get the other offer. So it just depends on your situation.
Okay. Actually, I was told, sorry, I misspoke. I was told to apply for the Amex Plat, then downgrade my Amex Gold to just the regular Amex.
So you're trying to, sorry, hold on. So you're trying to, hold on. Can I see that? I need to find a question.
That's fine. It's just my personal experience.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I'll just DM you on Instagram. I just didn't know if anyone else's was the same situation. I love this. I asked for last call for questions and I got 10 more questions. Okay. Really quickly, I'll go to, I think it was Dawn's question at the end. So let's answer a few more. Thank you for those that are sticking with us. I know this is a really, it's an advanced topic, but it's a very fruitful and informational one. And Angel, thank you so much for staying a few minutes past.
Wow, there's 92 of you guys still here.
I know. I seriously applause, un applauso for all of 92 of you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. There's a few more questions. Let's do this. Look at everyone dropping their offers, their retention offers in the chat as well. I love to hear that. These are success stories. So,
thank you guys. And make sure to tell Matt and Erica too. Tag Matt, tag Erica, tag Nomadic Network for anything that you learned helpful. I'm pretty sure Matt and Erica, they want to learn what you learned from presentation. If you have anything helpful, if you guys want more travel hacking presentations, you should definitely tell them because they all value the feedback. So definitely tag Erica, tag Matt in your Instagram stories. You could tag me too, and also tag Leah too that we're here. But definitely tag with them anything that you learn helpful because they'll see that. And if they like that, they might have more workshops for you guys. So you definitely want to get benefits out of it.
We can bring Angel back in a few months, and we can answer more questions.
It's actually kind of funny because it's so funny how they reached out to me. So just to give you guys full background, I actually volunteered at TravelCon in 2019 in Boston when they had it, and it's such a 180 for almost 2 years later. Now they have me hosting a workshop for you guys. So think about it, I was a volunteer and all of a sudden now I'm hosting a workshop for Nomadic Network for Matt, and they reached out to me on Instagram to host a workshop. So for all you guys never know. And also I think they're still looking for volunteers for the conference that's in Tennessee. So definitely reach out to Matt and Erica to ask them if there's still spots available. So you can easily just do that with them.
Yes, TravelCon. I will be there. Are you heading there, Angel?
Yeah, I should be.
Okay, great. Yes, that's exciting. Just
if you guys want to go to TravelCon and you guys don't see anything that's travel hacking related, tell him and Erica hey, in the presentations, I really want to learn more about travel hacking because they can tailor the conference more towards you guys. And they all value feedback, especially because they work so hard to put up the presentations, the conference and stuff. If you want to see specific speakers, tell them and say hey, I really like the travel hacking session you guys had in January. Will there be an in-person one at TravelCon? Because I'm going to this conference. I want to learn more about travel hacking. Will you be hosting more workshops for Nomadic Network in the future? You should definitely talk to Erica and Matt about them, because you want to get value out of where you're going towards, right?
Yes. 200% back everything you say. Like, we absolutely love Nomadic Network, loves the feedback. Actually, like, if you want to, actually, Angel, do you mind dropping your screen? I love to see everyone's faces, and I'm sure they want to see yours
Sorry.
as well. No, that's okay. We've had it up there long enough. We'll put Angel's information in the chat as well. But yeah, if you all want to, like, you know, take a picture of us, like saying hey, or like take a picture of whatever you learned in the presentation, if you screenshotted it earlier, and tag it on Instagram, tag the Nomadic Network, tag Angel as well, and just rave about how much you've learned or the best tip that you've gotten for today. We always love that shout out on social. So let's see, a few more questions and then we can close out here. Danielle wants to know credit card recommendation for getting access to airport lounges. Sorry, I should have read that whole question. You've given us many recommendations today, and you've also told us that LA is closed, like the entire portal to Asia Pacific. So that's kind of sad, but let's see. Leslie has one. When you get lounge access, is the food free or at a discount? Like, what's included with lounge access?
So it depends. It depends on the airport lounge you're going to. So I'll give you an example for Delta. When I went to Delta at LAX, for the drinks, they had a free one for complimentary and also had the paid one. So it depends on what you're looking for, right? Like, are you fine with the free beer that they have at Delta, or do you want to pay more for more expensive beer? For me, I took the free one. So up to you.
Yes,
how luxury
absolutely. Free beer is better than no beer and
exactly.
no lounge access.
And they had the beer on tap too, so it was fresh. So
there you go. Okay. Katrina wants to know, how do reciprocal benefits and bonuses between airlines and hotels work?
So it depends on what level that you have for status. So for United and Marriott, it depends on what status you have with Marriott and United. You can definitely Google it. But if you have a specific status within Marriott and you also have United Silver status, you can have reciprocal benefits. So like they might tell you to do something extra for them. So like I know that sometimes people for United, they might fly an additional flight to status match. So it depends on what the rules are that they currently have in session. For Hyatt and for American Airlines, it's the same thing where they have reciprocal benefits, because if you have globalist status with Hyatt and you have a specific status with American Airlines, you can do reciprocal. So that's why a lot of people for American Airlines, they stick to Hyatt because they can get reciprocal benefits. So if like, let's say like they have a specific status for American Airlines, if you're shooting for globalist, the free breakfast and the free parking, that adds up so much, because if you book a point stay and you have globalist status, like the Chicago hotel I stayed at was $50 a day for parking, versus like if you had like didn't have status, you would pay $50 a day just to park. And the food I had was like $75 per person. So like that adds up a lot too if you're traveling, because if you don't have a hotel status for breakfast and stuff, you're gonna have to like also think about your travel budget. Like, do I have enough budget to pay for parking? Is it worth it for me to get a rental car? Is it worth it for me to pay for breakfast, or do I have to find a cheap place nearby to eat breakfast? Do I care about the convenience because I'm inside the hotel where I get ready to get free hotel breakfast? So you have to think about all the different factors of your travel itinerary and how that plays. And also because Hyatt, my friend had it, you can also do a guest of honor. So like, because she has globalist status, so like, let's say I want to go somewhere like San Diego or LA, doesn't matter where I'm going, she can actually book the hotel for me and I transfer back the points, because Hyatt lets you book for someone else. So this actually happened to me when I was going to Asheville in North Carolina. My friend, because he had status, I transferred him the points for Hyatt. I actually got a discounted rate because he had Hyatt globalist status. So it was actually cheaper for him to book the hotel than me, because I didn't have status, because I didn't have the credit card for Hyatt. So it was actually cheaper for me to transfer the points to him and for him to book the hotel for me, versus because I didn't have status, I would have to pay more. Because sometimes for card holders for Hyatt, they have a discounted rate if you book with their credit card. So it depends on what the deals are. And because he had globalist status, I didn't pay for parking either or breakfast, because I used his benefits.
Wow.
And it doesn't cost anything to do the points combining form for Hyatt. So literally when you go to Hyatt, and when you get to hotel, you can ask the front desk to print out the Hyatt points combining form for you. And you fill out your information and your friend's information. It usually takes only a few days to fill out the form. and then they'll transfer the points back back to your friend's account. So that's an easy way, because if you think about Chase is a transfer point for Hyatt. So you can transfer your points to Hyatt because Chase doesn't let you transfer your points to your friend. You can only transfer the points within Chase if you're in the same household. So if you're trying to transfer points to someone, that's a gateway, like another like workaround where you transfer to Hyatt, and then you transfer those Hyatt points by filling out the points combining form to your friend, and then he gets the points and books it for you because he has a global status and you don't. So you get the free breakfast and the free parking.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot to think about. And on behalf of everyone who may have the same, maybe silly question, because we're not as advanced as you are, Angel, is getting global status just like the keep spending on the card?
You have to stay a specific amount of nights to get the global status. There's also a way if you spend money on the card to get status, but that's usually more expensive because you have to remember, if you stay at the Hyatt that's 5,000 points versus 20,000 points, that night that you stay at the Hyatt for 5,000 points is still cheaper than the one that you pay for 20,000 points, and that'll still count towards status because you stay there for a night. So what one of my friends did was that he actually flew to Mexico for Hyatt and actually stayed there for the 5,000 points for the hotel he found because it's cheaper than the one in the US. So he made a vacation out of it. He went to Mexico to work remotely, stayed at Hyatt for 5,000 points, and was able to get status that way for Hyatt for Globalist. Because as long as you stay at the Hyatt, it counts for a night. Okay. There's properties that have promotions. So when I was in San Diego in December for Andas, they had 2 elite credits per night if you stay there. So instead of getting 1 hotel credit, you got 2 because it had special promotion there. So you also had to be mindful of the special promotions that they have too. But that comes and goes, and that was on the Hyatt website.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So much good info. Okay. This is the second to last question. Brina wants to know, because I think this was gone through really quickly. What's the deal that you were talking about earlier with Airbnb and gift cards? There was something in your presentation.
Yeah. So for Airbnb, what you can do is that like you went through Delta portal or British Airways portal, so you get points on top of that, right? What you can do is like if you have American Express Gold, for example, you get 4 times at US supermarkets, right? Because you got 4 times at US supermarkets and you bought the Airbnb gift card there. And if you also have fuel points, if they have a special promotion, you get points on top of that because you save money on gas. So an easy one example is that my friend did this for Vaughn's, where she in San Diego when we were there, because she can buy a gift card for at Vaughn's, and there's also fuel points, and there was a gas station at Vaughn's. She saved $12 on gas just for buying a gift card. So like and that helps out because if you're going to book that Airbnb anyway, you can buy the gift card when they have a special promotion or whenever actually. And then they had a special promotion where she took advantage of it. So she bought like a gift card for Airbnb or something else, and she saved $12 on gas, and she got 4 times at the grocery store. So that's a hack within the hack.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. I was just kidding. This is the second to last question just because Danielle came through with it, and I want to make sure, this presentation is helpful for as many people as possible. Second to last question. Danielle has a high loyalty program, but she wants to know what you think about it for travel hacking right now. Danielle has 2 IHG Chase cards, but haven't heard much about any other chains this evening.
Oh, sorry, can you repeat the question really quick? Sorry.
Yeah, Hyatt loyalty program. What do you think? Is it one of the best for travel hacking right now?
Yeah, so so a lot of people like Hyatt because remember redemptions start at 5,000 points. So it's a lot cheaper than booking something like a Marriott. So you can literally be in the same place. Like if you're staying at a Hyatt, like Chicago, right outside the airport, the Hyatt there might be 5,000 points versus you stay at a Marriott or Hilton, it might be more expensive. So when you're booking hotels, it's always good to compare them to see which one's cheaper. But in general, people like Hyatt more because for Hyatt, you don't pay resort fees. So if you're booking something with Marriott, you pay a resort fee, even if you book it with points. So like you have to be mindful of that too, like which hotel you book with, because if you book with Marriott and versus Hyatt at the same place, the Hyatt one is cheaper than the Marriott one because not only do you get free breakfast and everything, but you also like paid less in points. So you have to be mindful when you compare different hotels of the city you're going to see what's the benefits.
Okay, really good to know. Jerry actually wants to refer back to Airbnb. What happens if you cancel Airbnb reservation and you pay with a gift card? Can you get your money back?
I actually haven't done that with the gift card. I mean, you might have to double check with Airbnb to see that just because like I'm not exactly sure what the rules are. I don't know if they'll give you store credit just to be safe. I'm not exactly sure the rules because I never canceled one with a gift card.
Right. Okay. All right. So just check with the site. Okay. Last one for real. Dawn wants to know, do you, Angel, do individual credit card analysis for people, like go through their credit cards and points to recommend what to keep, get rid of, apply for, transfer miles, etc.?
So I do offer that service. So the people do contact me sometimes. Usually, sorry, usually I charge like $2 a minute. So if you're booking 60 minutes with me, it'll be $120 to book a session.
Thank you for the rate transparency. I know people appreciate that. So
yeah, I mean, if you need a specific credit card recommendation, that's fine. But if you're telling me to book you a flight and hotel, I'm gonna charge you for that. So like, because it takes time for me to research to find out how to maximize your points. Because I need to know which bank you have, how much airline mileage you have in different programs to see which one's better for you. If there's a transfer bonus that I have to look into, I have to do all the calculations for you. So if you're telling me to book you an award flight or hotel, like I'm gonna charge you for that. But if you're looking for a specific credit card recommendation and it's very quick via DM on Instagram, then I could just do that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you mentioning that. And of course, you know, feel like getting paid for, sorry, my dog is like coughing next to me. Getting paid for your work. We believe in
coronavirus. I'm far away. It was not
my dog's like, anyways, this has been so incredible. And I am actually, I'm sorry if we missed any of your questions. If you've gotten to know Angel from this presentation, you'll see that she's obviously very personable, willing to answer any of your quick DMs, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, on her site. We've dropped multiple links in the chat of how to connect with her. And that's actually our favorite way of supporting these people who are so full of knowledge that come here and, you know, share their time and their expertise with the Nomadic Network. So we are incredibly, incredibly grateful for spending a great hour and a half here with us. And for those of you that joined, whether it's domestic in North America or you've joined from all over the globe in some crazy time zone. I saw Australia in there. Oh, but it's the middle of the day for you, Australia. You're fine. Those in Europe, thank you. Thank you. Thank you from